dedicated, passionate, admired, energetic, a catalyst for change, creative, an established leader. Isaías Samaripa, the Director of Talent Acquisition and Diversity for General Mills, personifies all these attributes and more. He was born in Kansas, but spent his growing up years in Puerto Rico. For college, he returned to the States, graduated from Marquette University in Wisconsin, and received his MBA from Columbia University. His first position was as a human resources generalist with Exxon Chemicals in Houston. He then established his own executive search firm for 6 years. Isaías considers the success of having his own business as one of his biggest accomplishments. After returning to the corporate workplace, he worked for Compaq, then Amoco, and for the last 10 years with General Mills. His goal has been clear: to change the color of corporate America. Isaías was one of the founders of the National Society of Hispanic MBAs, and helped establish the Houston chapter in the early 90s. Then in 2001, repeated that startup success with the St. Paul chapter. Always continuing his service to further NSHMBA's mission, he currently serves as chair of the Corporate Advisory Board. At General Mills, he coordinated the reestablishment of the General Mills Hispanic Network, an affinity group within the company whose mission is to ensure the success of Hispanics. He worked to get GMI recognized by NSHMBA as the Brillante Corporation of the Year in 2006, and last year worked to organize all the corporate Hispanic networks in the Twin Cities into a single organization that serves as a professional Latino network for major corporations, including Best Buy, Target, and of course General Mills. Isaías Samaripa is a champion of diversity and the 2009 Brillante Corporate Executive of Excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen, Isaías, you have helped many people. Maybe that's why you get such a great applause. Many people in their career development. Will you please tell us about the people who were mentors in your life and how they impacted your career path? And yes, I would grant your request. I will hold your word as well.
When I came up to her, me lo aguanta también, and she goes, así me brillante. Stay right here. I'd rather talk to you right here. Because I get shy from people.
I'm sure you get very shy. I get shy too.
Basically, you know, when you said about people that really helped me out, I just had my 3rd-year high school class reunion, and I really went through thinking about it.
I couldn't tell.
So then I started to think about the people that really have influenced me. And it was, so it's 3 decades. The first decade, real simple, my dad. Stay in school, do good, you can do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. I believed him. So, you know, I went out, got all these great classes, went to all these schools. And then my second decade was simple. NSHMBA was born. And I found something that really meant something to me. And it almost like you were almost a disciple of Henry Hernandez. We all were disciples of Henry Hernandez when he came and talked about that. I want to thank Henry for that. And during that time, we started the Houston chapter. Victor Arias came and he became one of my mentors. And Victor's sitting in the front. And Victor, stand up and turn around just for 1 second. I do not look like Victor Arias. Victor suddenly 6 people came up to me and said, "Hey, you did a great job at the function and the luncheon. And how well do you know Rosie?" And Victor said, "Yeah, me and Rosie are good friends." So I do not look like Victor Arias. But what I learned from Victor was that I could ask him anything. There was no boundaries. I would say, "Okay, what am I goofy enough to talk to me?" And he was there. The second person that decade that really made a difference was when I came back to corporate America, and it was Don Wilson from Amoco. And he really taught me what it is to have someone support you. He brought me back into corporate America and gave me all the rope to do whatever I wanted. And sometimes I'd hang myself, but he was there to back me up. And that was very important. Then my last decade really has all been with him. And with Amoco, there were two people that really made a difference for me. Lydia Mallet, who was our chief diversity officer at the time, she actually really was my biggest supporter. So I knew when the time for ratings and supporting, she'd be up there going, you know, I know you don't like Isaiah, but he delivers. So that was good to know. And then the final person is also sitting in the front row over there, Mr. Ted Charles. And he also does that fine line between a friend and a boss, you know, so there's a real great love-hate relationship. But he tells me the truth. He said, Isaiah, you're really not that good. Let's talk to you about what you need to grow. So I thank him for that. So those are my mentors, and we're going to have a good time together.
Okay, I know that I did not work the last decade at Amoco. Might have been a Freudian slip, I don't know what it was, but the last decade I've worked at General Mills. Very proud to have worked the last decade at General Mills. So I wanted just to state that. The rest of the pictures you're going to see are really of that night, hanging out with everybody and then going to Picosa and throwing everybody out of there and having our own private party till 4 a.m. That was the culmination of a fantastic night. I want to thank everybody that was there, and see you in Chicago.